So this is Photoshop Lesson 3, and this is a continuation of our last lesson, but go ahead and open up the Lesson 3 Start. So that way your start file is exactly where you should be. And so here we are, Lesson 3 Start. We're also going to be opening up the files Lamp of Knowledge and Shield. Okay, so we're going to take the file that we started with last time. We're going to do some changes to it. So the first thing that I want to do is we're going to go over here to the Shield file, and we're going to select all. Okay, so we're going to go to the Select menu and choose All. You'll notice it also has a shortcut, Control A. Control A will do the same thing. So you see now I have the ants marching all the way around. I'm going to go over here to Edit, Copy. You could also use Control C. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here back to our lion, and I'm going to click on the lion layer. Actually, I'm going to click on the background layer, and we're going to add a new layer. So we're going to, right here next to the trash can is the new layer page icon. So go ahead and click on that one time, and here's where we're going to paste our shield. So I'm going to go up here to File, Paste. And paste the shield. Now you notice you can't see it, so I'm going to turn off by clicking the eyeball these other two layers and make them go away for a second. So here's my shield layer. Now I want to make my shield a lot bigger, so we're going to go back to Edit, Transform, Scale, and I'm going to go ahead and scale this shield up. Let's go ahead and scale it up 250%. So 250, and then hit Enter. Okay. I'm going to put it in the center of the page, and then click the OK button, the check mark. I can turn my lion back on. So I want to make my lion actually smaller now. So I'm going to go back to Edit, Transform, Scale. And let's go ahead and scale our lion. Now look what I did. Right? That's not what I should have done. So I'm going to hit the check mark. I'm going to hit Undo. And then I need to be on the lion layer. Right? I already told you to do that. Always be on the layer you want to affect. So actually before we do that, let's call our layer 1 here Shield. Right? Now let's go back to the lion layer. Edit. Transform. Scale, and let's scale that down. Yeah, let's make it about 50%. Okay, and then hit the little check mark, and then let's move the lion in the center of the shield. Okay, I can also use my up, down, left, and right arrows. It's called nudging, right? So you can get something exactly where you want it to be. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and turn our early college, high school text back on. And I want to go back to the text. I'm going to get my text tool, click on the text, and I'm going to go back to the curvature. And I actually want to turn the bend back to 0%. Okay. And then I'm going to move this above, up there like that. Okay, so now we have our shield, and I actually want to take, and I'm going to copy that color that we used before. So I'm going to get my eyedropper, and we're going to pick that dark blue that we had before. I'm going to go to the shield layer, and let's go ahead and use our paint bucket tool, and notice it's on contiguous. And let's go ahead and paint all the blue area, the black area to blue, to that dark blue. I'm going to leave this white. I like the blue and white checkerboard pattern like that. But notice our lion doesn't pop. He kind of blends into the blue. So let's go back to the lion. We're going to go back to our layer style. So go to Layer, Layer Style, and we're going to put a stroke around him. But this time we're going to change the color of the stroke to white. I don't want it to be so thick. I just want a little thin stroke. So let's maybe put a 2 pixel stroke on the outside. Okay, and that's all we have to do. Now he pops out from the background. Okay, so he doesn't blend into the shield. Alright, so let's go get our lamp of knowledge. So we can do the same thing we did before, right? We can select all. We can go to edit, copy. We can go back to here. And now, so let's put a new layer between lion and the text. New layer. Click the new layer button. And then we can now paste, file, paste our lamp. Now it's really big, so we're going to edit, transform, scale. We can scale our lamp down. Now notice, okay, the lamp does exactly, if I hit the shift key, notice how the lamp moves around. If I don't use the shift key, the lamp stays the way that it should. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it 20%. The size that it needed to be. But notice, I'm going to hit the check mark. Notice when I put it on top of something, you see that it's not transparent like the other ones are. So how can I make this transparent? So what we're going to do is we are going to use our magic wand tool, and we're going to click on the white area, and we don't want it to be contiguous. We want it to choose all the white area. Okay, so click on the white area, and then we're going to hit delete on the keyboard. And now we can go to select, deselect, or control D. So now we can use our move tool, and you can see that we have our lamp of knowledge. So let's also color our lamp of knowledge. So let's get our paint bucket, go to the lamp of knowledge. Okay, let's undo the paint and make it not contiguous. I want it to paint all the black in the lamp of knowledge. There we go. So we also want to rename this lamp. Right. Oops, undo. Okay. So I want to get my move tool. I want to move my early college high school text down just a little bit. Okay. And I want to put some text below here. So we're going to do a new move. We're going to copy this entire layer. So I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to drag it down onto the new layer icon. So I'll just put my little fist icon right there on top of the new layer icon. Now I have 2 copies of this. So I'm going to move the bottom copy, the second copy. We're going to move it all the way down below here, like that. And now, so I have my top copy, my bottom copy. So make sure we know which one is which. So let's put this one below the other one. Okay. In a minute, it'll change because I'm going to change the text. Let me get my text tool, go down here, and I can just click on it 3 times so I get the whole thing. And then we're going to put Galena Park, ISD, like that. Now, these layers, the text layers, notice it changed over here. So you can actually see the difference of the different layers, right? Okay. The text layers have this little shadow behind them and all that. What if I want that on everything? I want it on the shield and I want it on the lamp. But I want to put it on the lion because that wouldn't work. Okay. But I want everything else to look the same, to be consistent. Okay. So I'm going to come up here to Galena Park ISD layer. I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy the layer style. That's going to copy all of these styles. And then I can go to the lamp layer. I can right click with my mouse and I can paste layer styles. So now I don't need that stroke. So notice I can turn the stroke off. Right? But I do want the drop shadow. Okay. So now I'm going to go down to, I don't want to put it on the lion. It already has its own effects on it. So I'm going to come down here to the shield. Same thing, right click, paste layer style. Okay, so what had happened here? It put it on the outside square. So we have to do a little thing before we can do that. So first, undo, paste style. So let's turn our background off, and this will show you what's going on. We have a box around our shield. So just like before, we're going to get our, but we want to contiguous this time, right? We want it to be only the outside part. We're going to click on that, delete. Okay, and then we're going to deselect, select, deselect. And then now we can go back to the shield layer and we can paste layer style on the shield layer. And we can turn our background layer back on. So now it has that nice little thing. I don't think we need the stroke on the shield layer, so we can turn that off. There we go. So now they all have the same consistent shadow around each layer, like they did, like the text did. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure that you save this out and upload it to the classroom.